We're back. Brandon Rhymes, Consumer Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty, featuring our listings live on air. We help our sellers profit more and sell faster. We always like to pitch our listings to our audience and provide that insights into different zip codes, different areas in the community. 16400 Gulf Boulevard in North Reddington. This is directly on the Gulf of Mexico. Beautiful property. 16400 Gulf Boulevard is a cute condo unit here, 400 square foot condo. The balcony is overlooking the pool and the beach, so you're out there looking at the dolphin swim and the sugar sand beaches, enjoying those beautiful walks. Pool and beach access, ceramic tile, covered balcony. Excellent vacation rental. 16400 Gulf Boulevard, North Reddington Beach, and it's just over $300,000. Great price point on that beachfront property. And hot listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
This is God's country.
All right, we got our friend Jason Kobal in the house. Attorney Jason Kobal, welcome back, sir.
Always a pleasure, Brandon. Good to see you.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Let's start with just a quick overview of what you do and how you help our audience out there.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I'm an injury lawyer, so I've been doing workers' comp in Tampa for 21 years. So that's on-the-job injuries. I've worked on both sides of that. I prefer the injured worker side. I've been on that for the last 18 years. Then I do personal injuries, so like car accidents, slip and falls, anything like that, defamation, if you're injured by slander or libel. And then lastly, I do like medical billing, bad debt. If your credit gets damaged by a bogus bill, then give me a call. I can help you out.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And helping folks with the work comp, and because it's confusing if you get injured on the job and then they bill you directly. Some people they get confused about that, right?
Oh, it's terrible because these hospitals, they don't care. They know what the law is, and they just don't care. They just bill everybody. They'll bill your health insurance even though they shouldn't because it's workers' comp. They'll bill you, and then they'll bill workers' comp. And workers' comp law is very strict. They have to put it on a very specific form, either through the mail or electronically. And if they just send a regular bill, the carrier isn't even allowed by law to pay it. It has to be on the specific form. So what happens is they'll try to bill comp. They won't put it on the right form. They'll get a letter back saying, look, we can't, this is a notice of disallowance, not denial. We're not refusing to pay it. You just got to put it on the proper form. They take that letter and they always say, oh, we got a denial, so that's why we're billing your client.
Wow.
That's not what that letter says.
And that's not true.
Right. And that's how, I'd say 70% of those cases end up playing out. It's hilarious.
Wow.
They're like, oh, I got a denial from comp. I'm like, I bet you it's a disallowance. And then we get it, and it's a disallowance. Got to read your letters.
Do you think, Jason, it's part of the overall, a corporate, the way that America's going right now with corporations, a lot of them going woke and a lot of them, just doing things that are just backwards. I mean, there's no other way to say it. Do you think it's part of an overall plan of corporate skimming? And how you see that sometimes on your bank account. What's this charge? Oh, it was an accident. We'll remove it.
Right.
But that they do that to millions of people.
Right. No, that's absolutely what's going on with the medical billing I was just referencing. But yeah, and it's sad because more than ever, I think we were talking before the show even, there's these companies now, everything's politicized.
Yep.
Everything. The Department of Justice, corporations. I mean, I don't recall back in the day Disney chiming in on political issues, they do now. It's just randomly picking a company out of the air there. There's lots of them.
Well, their new movie just flopped, by the way. I was listening to Daily Wire, and they were talking about that. The movie flopped big time, and it was mainly because the main character was two boys. So they're implementing this, and that's aimed at 7-year-old kids.
And that's what makes me mad.
You know what I mean?
That stuff, man. It's too young.
Yeah, so it's good. It's good. The audience spoke, and it flopped. So they're going to lose millions, if not billions, on that.
Yeah, but it is definitely a crazy time. Especially when you see it, when you see Department of Justice, FBI, even judges getting in on it. It's not cool.
Well, when we come back on the flip side, I want to ask you about this special prosecutor that was selected by Merrick Garland in the Trump case because the special prosecutor, he's got an interesting past, and we're coming into our break, so I don't want to tease it. I'm going to tease it a little bit, but I want you to come back and check out what happened here. I got a clip I'm going to play. It's going to break it down about this special prosecutor who prosecuted a case. Went to the Supreme Court and he got it overturned 9-0. So they pretty much said, nah, that was wrong. You can't do that. 9-0, unanimous. And I heard that on the Ted Cruz podcast. But attorney Jason Kobal coming up here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We'll be right back after this short break. Don't touch that dial. Make sure you follow us online at Brandon Rhymes1 on Instagram, Twitter, and all the other sites out there. We'll be right back.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. Please make sure to send him all of your real estate deals and subscribe to the Consumer Quarterback Show podcast on iTunes and Spotify, or check out our YouTube channel. Have a blessed day.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes, Consumer Quarterback Show Platinum MVP team. Quick shout out to Replenish IV Solutions. If you want to feel energized, hydrated, and replenished, reach out to our friends Stephen and Lisa Gunnan over at Replenish IV Solutions to hook you up with a safe and effective way. It's to restore your body's systems, crucial vitamins, nutrients, especially these days. We're looking for extra boost to our immunity. Replenish IV Solutions, multiple Bay Area locations, online at replenishivsolutions.com. And make sure you let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. And we like to feature our listings here. Our featuring listings for this segment is 7014 Crown Lake. This is a great opportunity to own real estate right here in beautiful Tampa Bay. Compliments of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. We have a residential property in Hillsborough County. This is in Gibsonton, about 1,800 square feet. There's no CDD, and it's a low HOA. You have new AC, granite countertops, beautiful flooring, and just a great opportunity to own real estate here in Tampa Bay. 7014 Crown Lake Drive in Gibsonton, one of our hot real estate listings from the Platinum MVP team. All right, 37351 Neighbors Path. Neighbors Path in Zephyr Hills is a great opportunity as well. This is a home that is almost 3,500 square feet. You have a mother-in-law suite, open concept floor plan, large yard. It's over an acre of land, 6 bedrooms, 4.5 bath, stone countertops, beautiful property. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
Sun is shining, the weather is sweet.
All right, attorney Jason Kobal in the house. Kobal Law, a local attorney, can help you with all types of different suits and litigation here in Tampa Bay. He's also got a big case going on against CNN. Jason, want to fill us in on some of that?
Actually, I had the one case I told you about, and I just, what was it, last week or 2 weeks ago, I filed a case on behalf of former Congressman Devin Nunes.
Oh, nice.
Against CNN for a statement we believe was false. And that case just starting. I can't get into the details, but that just got filed. So I'm very passionate about those because I had an issue with what was going on with the mainstream media long before I got these cases. So now I feel like that's my way of trying to fight back. Yeah, because it's really getting out of hand.
That's right, man. It really is. It's unbelievable, the corporate media and the way that this country has just over the last couple decades really just turned for the South, man. Turned south hard. And you know, you look at a guy like Trump. He comes out and says, "Hey, I'm going to run for president." He's a successful businessman, and you know, he did a great job. Whether you like his personality or his tweets, I mean, let's look at what he did, his accomplishments. Right, the lowest unemployment, the best economy, the peace in the Middle East. I mean, and on and on and on. I mean, the guy racked up a lot. And by the way, he was getting stabbed in the back the whole time. Yeah,
people don't realize how hard that would be to deal with the special counsel probe for 3 out of the 4 years. I mean, that's the most invasive tool we have in our toolkit for our Department of Justice. And to have to deal with that and still get that much done is really remarkable. It'd be interesting to see what he could do if he didn't have to endure that.
Yeah, and luckily he had some good guys around him. You know, Steve Bannon, Peter Navarro. These guys, you know, I read Navarro's book. You know, so I want to get into this though. So they just Merrick Garland selected a special prosecutor. I got a clip I'm going to play about this special prosecutor that they selected and a little bit of his background.
All right, so a lot of people over the holidays took a break, and there was some news that broke right before Thanksgiving, and it was news about the special prosecutor looking at Donald Trump, and then we got the name of the guy who's going to be the special prosecutor. Yep. And the question is, obviously, who is this guy? We now know something about him. We know that he's, one, not an unbiased guy, which is exactly what they tried to claim when they announced the special prosecutor. And two, he's a guy that also had deep connections to the Lois Lerner and the IRS when they were targeting conservative and Tea Party groups. Now, if that's your resume, it's not exactly a guy that's unbiased. It sounds like they brought in a killer to take down Donald Trump using the government and everything that he could have at his disposal with a special prosecutor.
Jack Smith is his name, and that podcast goes on to talk about how he did something similar to the former, it was a gentleman that was running for governor, or maybe he was the governor of Virginia, and they totally, did this case, had a case against him, won the case. It was appealed, went to the Supreme Court, and they overturned. The Supreme Court overturned it 9-0. So that tells you that was a bad prosecution, right? Is that typically what that means when somebody slaps you down and says 9-0, you're wrong?
Yeah, they can't speak more clearly than 9-0.
Exactly.
Know? So yeah, that's terrible, and it's just unbelievable to think that that's going to happen. If you look at the Mueller probe, that was based on the allegation that he conspired with Russia. Well, it turned out he didn't, but he was spied on. And then there was the dossier that was completely fake. So he didn't conspire with Russia, but it certainly seemed they tried to frame him for doing that when he didn't. That's the first one. And then you look at the first impeachment. It was based on the allegation that he asked Zelensky to create dirt on his opponent, Biden. Well, there was no need to create dirt because the dirt was in the laptop that is real.
There.
Yeah, that's right. That's the second one. And then impeachment 2 and the show trial that we saw last session of Congress about January 6th was based on the allegation that, on January 6th he incited an insurrection, yada, yada. But now we know all the FBI that were undercover working for those who were involved in the Proud Boys and whatnot. Right. So after all of that, we're really going to do this now. We're going to do an unbelievable.
Yeah, again, here we go. Let's continue that on. Yeah, it's pretty sad, man. It's pretty sad. There's other stuff that kind of hit I wanted to get to as well. Sure. FTX and how it affected sports.
The collapse of cryptocurrency trading firm FTX is affecting the sports world in a big way, while the NFL faces another race-based controversy.
Here to tell us more is Crane & Company co-host David Cohn. All right, David, there is a lot of chaos surrounding this FTX situation and both financial and political implications. But there's also a sports angle. What is the latest on the sports front as it relates to this crypto collapse?
Yes, it's been a bit of a mess in the sports world, and one stadium is even getting renamed. So following the announcement that FTX was filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, the first domino to fall was in the NBA when the Miami Heat announced they plan to terminate their relationship with the cryptocurrency trading company. In May 2021, when FTX had not even been in existence for 3 years, the company signed a 19-year, $135 million contract to secure the naming rights for Miami's arena, which was then named FTX Arena. Now, after only 526 days, the Heat are looking for a new naming rights partner.
Well, back to the market. We got to find a new naming rights partner. FTX, SBFs, just all these acronyms these days, man. It's pretty crazy. And, a lot of that money was funneled through the Ukraine handouts, all the unprecedented money that we've been printing as a country and sending overseas to Ukraine, whether we got an open southern border here that needs attention, but they're more worried about that border over there. But that money was funneling back to Democrat candidates to the tune of, what was it, in excess of $40 million, something like that I saw?
Yeah, that's even invested into the last midterm. Yeah. And then they knew at that time they were going to file for bankruptcy. And they owe, I think it was $3 billion. And they got people to, they convinced them that investing in that company is better than putting your money in a savings account. They're getting like an 8% return, and all these people put millions and millions of dollars in, and they lost their money. They're not getting it back. So when your company is going bankrupt and you owe all this money, that's pretty rich. It
is.
You invest that much into the midterms.
Oh, it's unbelievable,
disgusting.
Man. Yeah, it really is. So yeah, when you think about all the stuff happening here and. I want to bring it back to a local level here. When folks have these critical decisions in life, they have these different situations. You hear, talk to an attorney. Get that legal advice. Why is it so important whenever to do that early on in the process, Jason?
Wow, great question, man. First of all, you got to find a good attorney that you trust. There's so many out there, and you really got to use your due diligence to make sure it's somebody that you could trust and you could take the journey together. But you definitely want to get in as early as possible, especially for what I do, like injury law, workers' comp, personal injury, because in those cases, the evidence that's used ultimately to decide the case, it materializes as the case progresses. So you want to get with an expert early on so you don't make any mistakes, don't fall into any traps. Especially in workers' comp, it's because it's a self-executing system. Right. When you report that accident, poof, you get forced into that system whether you like it or not. Right. So if you don't have a lawyer, you're going it alone. It's definitely wise to get one and get one early.
Yeah,
great advice.
Absolutely. You got to. So be cautious about that, and then, get that legal advice, especially if it's an accident too, right? I mean, if you say something to that deputy that shows up on the scene, that highway patrolman, whoever it might be, if you say something, that can and potentially will be used against you, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And then also, like I've said on the show before, right when an accident happens, people start using their phones, taking pictures of this or that. That's real evidence. A lot of times that'll make or break a case.
Right.
So you want to, get an expert, get a lawyer, show them the evidence you created already, and then together, you'll walk the journey together and get the best outcome you can. But that's essential these days.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's take a quick break. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show. More with Jason Kobal and Logan Briggs coming up on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Plus, the feel-good story of the day. Great-grandfather dubbed Super Mario joined a gym in retirement and still pumps iron at 94 years old. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you've been listening to the phenomenal Brandon Rhymes, the Consumer Quarterback Show.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Brandon Rhymes, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. And we always like to tell you something positive here on our show. We got our feel-good story of the day.
Tell me something good.
All right. Super Mario, they dubbed grandfather Super Mario, 94-year-old retiree, still hits the gym twice a week and has no plans to stop. Super Mario considers the gym a second home, and at the gym, and the gym rats there at a second family. The former railway engineer said his job of laying track kept him in good shape, and he fell in love with the gym when it started going to stay fit post-retirement. His normal rigorous workout routines includes exercise bike, rowing machines, leg presses, bicep curls, and he's not beyond a Pilates class, he says. So he uses all the gyms machinery and spin classes, and so his eye on keeping his condition prevents him from driving to the gym as frequently as he'd like. But Mario, on his 94th birthday, had a group of the folks from the gym wishing him luck, and he's doing a great job in the gym. So there you go. You're never too late to hit the gym and stay in shape. So that's great-grandfather dubbed Super Mario. Pumps iron at 94 years old. So that's our feel-good story of the day. All right, go on.